Why this want to be difficult? Knocking at you up. Knocking at you up.
I've never played nothing this damn hard in a day in my life. What in the hell? Put the goods on the shelves, tables, clean the floors, move all the wine screens, and take out the trash. The more you get done, the more extra money you earn. So this has extra money. So I'm assuming this game knows that we are not going to get all this stuff done. It covers that. So that's why they said extra. And I don't know,
That's bad
it's
as
not,
well.
it's really just not working. All right, so let's try to stay in this area. That way, well, no, where's the jukebox? See, you see, look. Damn diner in the middle of nowhere. Ain't nobody eating it. Well, apparently somebody. At least he's back in. At least he's back in. Whatever. The more you get done, the more the money you have. I'm sorry, don't work in things. Look at all of nothing. Like, nothing's worth it. Nothing. Nothing is worth it. 50 cents. It made dollars. Clean, yeah, it's clean dollars. Can I drop it this time? Okay, I can drop it this time. So I put. Right. Stop this shit. Here we go again. I lost it. I lost it. What do you want me to do when the lights go off? I just lay my ass down. What do I do? How? Dude, that's not fair. And how are you still working? Take your tip? Bitch, I got a tip. $17? All this shit I did? What time is it? 5:10. I have 40 more minutes. So maybe the game just does. And I put the candle on there. They tried to get me. They tried it. Here, I just y'all. Wait, y'all. Wait, y'all take it. Oh my God, I almost lost. I almost fucking lost it. It's that bad. But it's all good. You can do the rest of the job in the dark. It shouldn't be that hard. You clock still off. You just gave bro. You just gave bro his candle. Fuck with the blood. I take him. Let me get my chicken. Okay.
Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another live stream today. And today we are actually going to watch this video from ExploreUs. It's saying a victim is being burnt alive long enough to solve her own murder. So Hopefully this is not scary, scary. But you know, stuff be getting crazy. And people do some crazy stuff. There we go. There I am. Now y'all can see me. Now y'all can see me. All right, so let's tune in. Let's go ahead and watch. And let's get this underway.
She went burnt. She burnt. Somebody probably set the cone for or something. I don't know. She just come out of the woods at my house. That's the worst one I've seen. I couldn't believe she was still conscious and alert with the amount of burns she had.
What did she do that was so awful that she would die a torturous death like this? That's what we want to know. I have nothing to do with nothing. That's my friend. I'm telling you, that's my friend. I would never hurt her.
On March 24th, 2010, a man named Terrence sat outside his home in Pensacola, Florida, enjoying the fresh night air. By all accounts, it was a perfect spring night. That is, until a faint voice rang out from the forest surrounding his home. At first, Terrence couldn't make out what the voice was saying, and then it came again, a panicked and pained moan. It was a woman calling out for help. Terrence couldn't have had the slightest idea of the gruesome crime that had just been committed against this woman, a crime so brutal that you may have trouble believing it.
Want the effects of Viagra, but they contain sildenafil and tadalafil, but sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than old school pills. See?
Yep.
In reference to the call, we're on scene and fire saying that the patient, she's got second-degree burns over 100% of her body, but she's saying that there was no vehicle involved, that people dragged her out of her house and set her on fire.
At first, through the forest shrouded in shadows, Terrence couldn't make out the woman calling for help. Moments later, when he finally could, he was horrified. A 19-year-old woman, Adriana Zimmerman, slowly stumbled toward him out of the darkness. Burns coated every inch of her skin, so severe that he couldn't make out the color of her skin or whether she was wearing any clothes at all. Terrence called 911 while Adriana sought refuge on his porch.
911. What's going on out there? Somebody started burning up. Her, this lady on fire right now. She what? She burnt all up. You gotta. She burnt. She burnt. Somebody probably set the cone for or something. I don't know. She just come out of the woods at my house.
As they waited for EMS to arrive, Terrence noted that Adriana smelled heavily of gasoline, and there was a severe injury on her head in addition to the burns. Whatever she had endured had left her barely clinging to life. By 9:24 p.m., an EMT arrived at the scene to find Adriana sitting on the porch with her arms outstretched, rocking back and forth to soothe her pain. The extent of her burns meant that the EMT on the scene couldn't offer her much medical assistance. Even for a seasoned EMT, the sight was deeply disturbing.
She was kind of moaning. She was just in a sitting position, and the way she was looking was it hurt to move anywhere, so she was kind of in whatever position she was the most comfortable. It was in a sitting with her arms stuck straight out. She was moaning, and it was hard to understand her due to her jaw. Her jaw was very deformed and stuck out. So she kept, mumbling, "You just got to stay there and try not to move for me." Really, with a burn victim like that, there's nothing much we can do until EMS gets there.
And your training experience when you saw her, what was your first thought?
That's the worst one I've seen. I couldn't believe she was still conscious and alert with the amount of burns she had.
Did you feel her condition was grave?
Yes, sir.
Just from your experience and seeing what you've seen?
Yes, sir. Just from seeing that, plus the head trauma, the amount of head trauma she had to her face, I would not have expected her to make it through the night. She kept telling me I'm about to pass out. I'm about to pass out. So I told her to try to stay awake for me, and I wanted to get the info of the suspects before she passed out.
Fearing that she would never wake up if she passed out, the EMT dug for all the information that he could about what happened to her. She managed to tell him that she'd been taken from her house, tased, beaten with a crowbar, and then set on fire. En route to the hospital, the paramedic supervisor tended to Adriana's wounds as much as they were able to. In their interview with the police, they disclosed heart-wrenching details of the ride to the hospital.
I told her, keep fighting. And she kept saying over and over again, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? And I told her I was going to try. And she said, just tell me I'm going to wake up and see my babies. I got to talking to her, and I told her that I was probably going to be the last person she talked to for a while, and that in order to catch the people that did this to her, I needed her to tell me if she knew who it was. And I asked her why they did it to her, and she said, I thought we'd made up.
Without being able to give more details about the horror she had endured, Adriana was given morphine for her pain and fell into a coma.
You thought y'all
Investigators were
made up.
desperate to find the
So this is your
perpetrators
friend
behind
that
such
did
a
it to
heinous
you.
crime. It wasn't long before they inferred that wading through all the convolution and getting to the heart of the horrific incident was going to be anything but clear-cut. This is Cypress Trail Mobile Home Park, where 19-year-old Adriana had only lived for a few months before the horrific incident took place.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they
I'm
can
so
do to
sick of
stop
these
it. There's a
ads.
new electric lighter out there, and it's got the
Oh, I'm so
firepower
sick
of
of
a
these
military-grade flamethrower. It's already been banned from Home Depot, Amazon, and Walmart for being too powerful. But the company behind it, they're not playing ball with the big retailers, and they've sold over 3 million units in just the past 30.
Adriana moved to Florida with her children from her hometown of Lubbock, Texas. Her family, who lovingly nicknamed her Augie, missed her from the moment she left for the Sunshine State. She was a loving, dedicated mother to her 2 children, and her final words before she fell into a coma confirmed this. En route to the hospital, barely clinging to life, she repeatedly asked the medical professionals to take care of her children and check on them since they were home alone. Mere hours after Adriana was taken to the hospital, law enforcement arrived at the trailer park. They knocked on Tina Brown's door at lot number 3 of the trailer park, where she lived with lot number 1, where Heather Lee resided with her husband, Darren Lee. For nearly an hour, no one responded, until finally, after incessant knocking, Heather answered. She, Darren, and Tina had been holed up inside her home the entire time. By then, the police had plenty of questions for them. Throughout the interrogations you're about to see, law enforcement is forced to wade through a sea of contradictions and lies created by suspects who were seemingly racing each other to dry land. That race to escape began the moment Heather Lee was put in a cop car to be brought back to the station for questioning. The following footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor and a licensed attorney.
It's cold in here. All right, so tell me.
Girl. Look at her.
She said she's cold back here.
Oh.
Can you tell me what's going on? Huh? Can you tell me what's going on? Just hang tight, okay, dear?
No,
Okay.
how about you tell us what's going on?
After setting Heather in the car, the police leave her alone for another 20 minutes. She fidgets anxiously in the back seat.
What's your full name?
Heather.
H-E-A-T?
H-E-R.
You work anywhere?
No, sir, not time.
Several witnesses and neighbors interviewed allege that many people in the trailer park sold illegal substances or allegedly worked as escorts, including Tina, Heather, Adriana, and their partners. In the 4 months leading up to the battery of Adriana, cops had visited the trailer park 25 times. But this time would prove to be the most ghastly, heartbreaking visit of all.
What is going on?
Okay. Well, first of all, we're investigating a battery here with your neighbor there behind you.
Adriana?
I guess.
Yeah, you know who lived
The
behind
lady
you,
lives
girl?
behind you. Listen to me now.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay. I just seen Adriana earlier today.
My name is Investigator Watts. I'm with the Sheriff's Office. And we were called out here on an aggravated some type of disturbance tonight, okay? Where your neighbor was critically injured, and you have been implicated, maybe having some knowledge or information, or even being involved. Okay. I have to ask you some questions, but before I ask you any questions, I'm going to have to advise you your rights, okay?
The detective reads Heather her Miranda rights. She accepts them rather calmly, but her calmness and patience will start to wane as the police begin to really question her.
First of all, tell me, do you know the situation we're talking about here?
No, sir. That's why I keep asking you what's going on.
Okay. Where have you been all afternoon? What have you been doing?
I've been here at the house. I was cooking. I see Adriana earlier today.
Who?
Adriana, my neighbor. She was down this way at my aunt's house talking with us earlier. And then I had went back in the house. I cooked and I laid down after that.
Okay, is anybody in the house with you?
Nobody but my husband. He was in there asleep.
That's your
In
husband?
bed, yeah.
Y'all, is just two of y'all live there?
Yeah. My kids are with my mom.
Okay, this girl was taken from her house and beaten up. Okay?
Okay. I seen her earlier today. She told me that she had a date. That's all she told me. And I asked her who it was. She was riding a bike up and down Detroit. And I asked her when she went that way, I said, where do you keep going when you go that way? She kept saying Fowler. But she would never tell me where on Fowler. And then she said, girl, I got a hot date tonight.
It's interesting that Heather immediately provides information to deflect the interest away from herself and toward the supposed hot date.
Do you know the lady lives in lot 3 back there?
Tina, yes, I know Tina. All of us know each other out here. I met her when she first moved out
Okay,
here.
how long has she been here?
I'm not quite sure. It's been a couple months, though. She ain't been living out here no longer than a year.
Okay, where did you go tonight before we got here?
Tonight? Tonight?
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere.
So you've been in your house?
I've been here and down by Tina's house and by my aunt's house and back here. I was here cooking. My other aunt, my mom's sister, came around here, her and the kids. And I was in there cooking fish and fries. And it's still on the stove.
Heather telling the officer that the fish is still on the stove is an attempt to prove that she's being truthful. In reality, her desperation to provide evidence of her activities only makes her look more suspicious. People who are innocent often don't feel such a stark need to back their story up. In just a moment, you'll see her try to validate her whereabouts even more by listing people who can provide her with an alibi. Take note of just how many times she does this.
I won't sit here and believe what you're saying, but we're getting information. You know what's going on here. You and Tina.
I don't know anything about what's going on here. Like I said, I was here at the house. My mom called me on my cell phone. I talked to my mom. My aunt came here, her, the kids. My 2 cousins was in the car with her. My aunt down in the 4th trailer, she seen me today. My Uncle Charles seen me today.
So you're sitting here and telling me that you and Tina, y'all didn't have a problem with this girl back there?
I didn't have no problem with Adriana. I've been hanging out with Adriana every day.
She was still in y'all
been
business.
hanging out together.
Like
you and Tina didn't jump on her?
No, I didn't do nothing to Adriana. I would not harm a hair on her head.
Heather's protesting that she couldn't have been involved because she would never hurt any part of Adriana is known as a convincing statement. This type of statement is often a sign of deception, as a truthful person's first instinct would likely be to outright deny an allegation, rather than try to convince the person posing.
I hate this. Come on. Skip.
I had to protect her once before.
From who?
Because her and some girls was getting into it. And I stopped them from jumping on her. Other than that, I haven't had any problems with her. Her kids, I always have her kids with me. Me and Adriana is just like that. Ever since she moved out here, we became friends.
Here, Heather's palm seems to be facing up as she's speaking. The palm-up position is not very affirmative, and it suggests that the speaker is asking or pleading to be believed. This may indicate that she's feeling uncertain about the statement she just made.
And the kids, I love the kids. They went with me to get my hair done and everything.
Your hair did. It's in the
I seen her this morning. And then I seen her about 2 and about 3.
Where'd you see her at?
I seen her down this way by my aunt's house. She was right down there. Yeah, she was right down there.
That's when you were down there when you saw her?
Yes.
Those 3?
She came over to the car.
So you're saying you saw her 3 different times today?
Yes, I seen her
and
today.
She was down there.
She was down there. She was talking to me.
Is that all you know about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I put that on everything
and
I love.
You swear that the statement you gave me is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. Adriana is my friend.
You didn't get anything? No, sir. All right.
The police conclude their interview, but what Heather requests next is very telling and makes her look even more suspicious.
I want to see her.
See who?
Adriana.
Well, that's not going to be possible right now.
God, where you found her?
Would you tell me if you knew what happened?
Yes, sir, I would. That's my friend.
Okay. All right, we'll be back with you in just a second, okay?
Yeah, you know what's going on.
Once more, Heather is left in the car. She shifts uncomfortably and sniffles, wiping her tears until it seems she cannot take the anxiety brewing inside of her any longer. While to some her next actions may seem to be those of a desperate friend, to others they likely appear to be those of a suspect trying to feign concern.
Baby!
You get the
I wanted to know what's going on.
Huh?
I wanted to know what's going on.
Didn't the investigators tell you already?
Yeah, they told me that, but
Okay, well, I can't tell you any more than what they told you, sweetheart.
all right, they didn't tell me I was under arrested or.
No, you're not
what.
under arrest.
Okay, now,
Okay.
how can I find out where can I go see her at?
You just got to wait, okay?
And then when they all get done, I can find out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Your husband will come in here. He wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Meet Darren Lee, Heather's husband. He's no stranger to run-ins with law enforcement, having been convicted of 2 prior felonies in 2001, including battery and sale of a controlled substance. As soon as he's put in the car, it seems that the couple begins retracing their steps in a discreet way to ensure her and Darren's stories are aligned once they're separated for questioning. This early in the investigation, we can only speculate as to the reason behind Heather and Darren having been placed in the vehicle together. It's possible that law enforcement just needs to secure them for the time being. However, it's also a possibility that officers are intent on capturing what the two might inadvertently disclose as the camera is running.
That's it? When you did this?
I'm going to from Brown to
That's what they told me.
They say, oh, we were finna go down and ask some questions or something.
What for the what?
Go down and ask some questions. I told them before that Block and Brown came by and ate some fish with them. Told them that y'all may leave. But she said that you told them we were asleep.
I told her that I was just in her sleep.
448, copy, Judge.
See, I told them we was eating fish like the movie.
Go ahead, 448. 17,
Yeah, and I was right there on the couch.
Right.
Block and Graham came by.
Pi is a completely free ad blocker that helps you take control of your online experience. Visit your favorite websites like IMDb or Amazon or even the Google homepage, and you can literally see the ads disappearing in real time with their...
I'm bored, man. That's why I'm not doing it. They hit my team back for enough questions. Y'all let you in charge of this and shit. You don't want to answer all the questions.
I ain't got no problem with going. Like I told him. I seen Adriana earlier today.
They talking about the gas can and everything, you know.
What gas can?
Gas can from the floor.
The gas. Them gas cans being on the porch. I don't even know who gas cans are this.
I told them Jerry's.
I don't know who gas cans those is.
Heather's reaction to Darren mentioning the police taking gas cans off their porch is rather frantic and over the top.
Them gas cans being on the porch. I don't even know who gas cans are this.
Especially considering the fact that at this time, officers had not even disclosed that Adriana was burned.
I ain't know what the hell was going on. They told me I just seen her today. And now they saying she in intensive care. I seen her before it got dark.
All right, man.
She asked me for a band-aid today.
I'm gonna give you about a minute more, say your things, and we fixing to go. I need to talk to you real quick. All right? Give you about a minute more. Say goodbye.
Hey, am I on arrest?
You are not free to go at this time, so you can consider whatever you want to consider. You're not free to go right now.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I think I can hold you 48 hours or something. I don't know. You are...
48 hours?
I think you were detained at this time. How about that? So we get a chance to talk to you. Okay?
They just want to talk to you.
Oh.
The two are being detained as the officer has reasonable suspicion that there is criminal activity afoot, or evidence of criminal activity to be found through the temporary detention and questioning of the individuals. A detention is different than an arrest, which requires that the officer has probable cause to believe a crime has in fact been committed, was in the process of commission, or was about to be committed. The standard for probable cause is higher than that of reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion must be based on specific and articulable facts, combined with rational inferences from those facts, and the suspicion must be associated with a specific individual or individuals being detained.
I'm kind of trying to get me involved in whatever happened with that. Told me, I don't know, man, I ain't seen that whole goddamn thing.
You get my phone and call Jean.
The Jean that Heather is referring to is an attorney who she will be asking for rather frantically soon. After this, Heather, Tina, and Darren were brought to the station for further questioning. However, there was still one person missing whom cops desperately wanted to speak with, 16-year-old Brittany Miller, Tina's daughter. Tina told police that earlier Brittany had left for the hospital with her friends, Jessica and Mallory, in Tina's maroon SUV. Brittany had hurt her hand, though Tina told investigators that she didn't know how. Investigators searched the area for Brittany and the SUV, but their initial searches proved fruitless. Brittany's name, car make, and model, and her physical description were broadcast to all patrol units in a desperate attempt to find her. Without Brittany in custody, back at the station, the thorough questioning of Tina, Heather, and Darren began. On top of their stories contrasting with one another, even their demeanors in the interrogation rooms were wildly different. You have Heather, who is clearly distressed.
Officer!
Yes, ma'am.
Please give me a nurse or something.
For what?
I don't feel good.
I wouldn't be feeling good either right now.
I'm having an anxiety attack. I have anxiety attacks.
I've already called. They're supposed to be coming back to you, okay? That's all I can do right this moment.
Okay.
Sit up there in that chair up there and set your head down on that desk.
Please let me go. Please let it be alright. Please let it be alright. Oh God, please let it be alright. Please let it be alright. Please let it be alright.
Heather's anxiety is tangible in the 30 minutes she's left alone in the interrogation room. And as you'll see shortly when her interrogation continues, she has every reason to be anxious. Her husband, on the other hand, didn't seem entirely concerned when he was interrogated, even casually chatting with someone on the phone beforehand.
Well, no, man, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, man. I'm copacetic right now.
In use.
Oh, yeah.
All right, dude.
Know that. I was really trying to do, but I would call you when I get home.
You ready, man?
477. Yeah. I'm for real. I will call you right back, man.
I'm getting off this goddamn phone.
Who is it?
My bad. I got to, man. I don't know, man. He gonna take my phone.
You done?
Yeah.
All right.
And then there's Tina, sitting emotionless in the interrogation room while she waits for police to enter and question her.
Did you grab a form? Oh. How you doing? I'm Investigator Lee Tyree, and this is Investigator Tom Watts.
After this, the police remind everyone of their rights now that they are officially in the interrogation rooms. An important thing to note is that Tina was the first to be interrogated, followed by Heather. Take a look at how their stories compare. Even their initial retellings of why they didn't answer the door don't align.
I've been talking to you for a few minutes. I was kind of trying to find out why you weren't answering the door when we came to your house this evening. You explained that you saw the cops and that you were nervous about that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just watching movies.
Okay, so you, Darren, and Tina were sitting in the living room. Heather were sitting there in the living room watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
And when the cops knocked on the door, what'd y'all do?
We were sitting there.
Okay. Why didn't you answer the door?
It ain't my door.
Okay. Did they do anything special when the cops knocked on the door? Turn out the lights, turn off
The lights
TV?
were already off because we were being nosy, looking out the window, seeing what's going on next door.
Okay, so you saw the cops next door first?
Mm-hmm.
Were the lights on before the cops came over next door?
Yeah.
And then y'all turned them off when they came over next
Yeah,
door?
you can see better with the lights off. You don't see nobody looking back at you.
Tina haven't been at my house all night.
Okay, so you sitting there in the living room watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
Tina hasn't been at your house?
And she haven't been at my house all night.
Where was she at?
She came in. She came and knocked on the door, and I got up. She said the police was out there.
Okay.
And I just laid there.
Did she come
I was
in?
on the couch. I just laid there because I was asleep.
Did she ever come in the house after she told you the police was there?
She came in the house, and she sat down.
In your house?
Yeah, she sat on my couch.
And what did she?
And I asked her what was going on, and she told me she didn't know.
I'm confused here because Darren told me that you and Tina were there and cooking all night.
Tina was there when I was cooking earlier,
Okay.
but she wasn't out there all night.
Where'd she go?
She had left. She told me she was going home.
Okay. About what time was that?
I was cooking. Yeah, she left.
Okay. And when did she come back over to your house?
She came back probably like 30 minutes to an hour later.
So she was gone for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And she comes back and the cops show up right at the same time?
She came in. She said the cops outside.
Did you see the cops outside that time?
I got up and I looked and I seen the lights. You can see the spotlights. I see the spotlights.
And where are they at?
They was outside.
Are they outside?
They was outside of Tina's house.
They were outside of Tina's house.
They was outside of Tina's house.
Were they outside of Adriana's house at all, or no?
When I had.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Testing. Testing. Okay, we back on. We back on. I think it's something
They came out. They was outside Adriana's house.
Okay, that's
when they knocked on the door
when
and
you
I
answered
came.
the door.
Yeah, when I answered.
You didn't answer the door for like an hour.
I didn't. They didn't knock on my door.
Oh yeah, they beat on that door.
Not on lot one they did because I was laying right there on the couch and I didn't hear no locks.
Even your husband said they beat on the door and you wasn't going to answer the door. And then Tina said they beat on the door and y'all didn't answer the door.
I got up.
It seems Heather is facing what is known as the prisoner's dilemma. This occurs when two or more individuals who are involved in a crime are isolated from one another and urged to confess to the crime. Each is concerned only with receiving the shortest possible prison sentence, and each must decide whether to confess without knowing what decision the other or others will make.
And Tina said, hold on, don't answer the door. And I asked her why.
Okay. We're getting a big diversity in this story.
And I'm gonna tell you like it is.
Well, tell me.
Adriana is my friend. I would never hurt her. Tina came to my house and she told me not to answer my door. I asked her why. She said, "Cause the cops is out there."
Heather's emphasis points are extremely off here when she states she's my friend, then hits the table, followed by I would never hurt her, and strikes the table again. You can actually see and hear how naturally line up with her words as it should.
And then she asked
So
me,
I'm
she said,
talking, I'm saying,
"Where are the cops at?" I said, "They down there by your house. Why you keep asking me where the cops at?" And she would never say. She
Was she
started back.
acting nervous?
She started back. She was acting nervous. She started back puffing on a cigarette.
Did she look like she was been running, or did she look like she'd been in a fight?
She was acting normal.
Here's how the average man's life would change if he
my
never saw an
God.
ad again. Day one, he would install Pi on his computer without...
Notice that Heather's palm is up here, which may be an indication once again that she's unsure of the story she's telling and asking to be believed.
Let me ask you a question.
She was acting normal.
You said when we asked...
And I said, "Tina, I said, you seen Adriana tonight?" She said, "No, I haven't seen it tonight."
And she didn't tell you why she didn't want you to answer the door.
She didn't say anything about why not to answer the door.
But she did tell you not to answer the door.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, I don't have anything to hide. I'm gonna open my door. And then I got up and I said, "Who is it?" And they said, "The sheriff's department." And I opened the door.
What was Darren doing?
He was laying at the bottom of the couch watching TV.
And you're absolutely sure of this?
Yes, sir. I am sure.
Because this story's a lot different than Tina's story.
I am sure.
As the investigator has pointed out, Heather's story is wildly different from her husband's.
You were asleep until about 7, so you don't know anything prior to that. Okay. And your wife tells me this story about Tina coming in, saying the cops are outside, and that y'all look out and you see the cops surrounding Miss Zimmerman's trailer. And she says for y'all not to answer the door. Now, I don't recall any of that conversation going on in yours. Now, I do remember you saying y'all didn't answer the door because it was police. Yeah. Tell me about that.
I don't want to say the police was out there.
Okay, so you don't recall Tina coming in and saying that the police are outside?
Tina was already in the house.
Because your wife tells us that you and her at home alone. Tina comes barreling in and saying, "Hey, the cops are outside." And y'all see the cops outside. And Tina's saying, "Don't answer the door."
No, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what Heather told us. Your wife.
I'll tell you that's a lie.
Okay. Why would she lie to us? Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean, she was distraught. She was crying. She was telling us this story. She seemed like
emotional.
Emotional, but she also seemed sincere.
Yeah.
It's possible that Heather is lying in order to make Tina look bad and compromise her alibi, though clearly she and Darren aren't on the same page about that plan.
Obviously know something's up.
Yeah.
So, tell me what happened tonight.
Nothing happened that I know of.
Notice how Tina is rubbing her neck, which is a major red flag. It's obvious that she's feeling very insecure and apprehensive. Neck massaging in general is a calming response. In addition, rubbing the vagus nerve near the side of the neck, close to where a pulse is taken, actually results in the release of acetylcholine, which sends signals to the heart to slow down a person's heart rate. However, this isn't to say she's guilty, as she's clearly in a stressful situation, but it's also an important tell to take note of.
See your arms and hands if I could. Okay, can I see the top sides? Okay. Those old scars on there?
Yeah, I have a puppy.
Okay, and what's this right here? That little scratch there.
This?
Yeah.
I have a puppy.
Okay, and your puppy caused that?
Look, I'm going to here.
Got your chin? Okay.
Nothing new.
All right. So, where were you tonight?
At Heather's.
At Heather's house?
I was at home. My daughters braid my hair, so I was at home, but it started hurting, and her little friends started coming by.
Remember what Tina has said here about her daughter braiding her hair. It will prove to be quite important as the investigation continues.
So Heather said she was going to cook, so I went down there, and she was cooking fish and French fries, and then we just started watching movies.
Okay. And did you go anywhere from there?
Mm-mm.
You were there all night until the cops came up there?
Mm-hmm.
Tina has put her hand to her mouth here. Whether conscious or not, many individuals will attempt to hide their lie by physically covering the source of their deception.
What time did you go over there?
Probably just started getting dark.
Okay, so about sunset, you go over to Heather's.
Mm-hmm.
Was anybody over at Heather's house when you went over there?
Just Heather and her husband.
Do you know what happened to Adriana tonight?
No, I don't. Heather just said she got beat up, but that's all I know.
A little bit more than that. And what was Darren doing while y'all over there cooking? Anything?
Laying on the couch watching movies.
Okay.
If anything,
All
that's
right,
the
but
only
you
thing
were
that
home all night. You
y'all
didn't
agreed
see any
on.
kind of disturbance going on over there before the cops came over there or anything?
No, we would have heard something.
You said you saw Adriana earlier today?
Mm-hmm.
What time was that?
Adriana was coming and going on a bicycle.
Okay. You remember the last time you saw her? Was it while you were still over at Heather and Darren's?
I didn't come back out when I went to their house. We were cooking then.
Okay. So it had to been before sunset.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw her during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And once you went over to Heather and Darren's, you never left there?
No.
You didn't go get anything or go anywhere at all?
I don't think so.
Notice that Tina's been asked several times if she went anywhere that night, not even 12 hours prior to this interrogation taking place.
You seem kind of lackadaisical about this. We're
Like,
going
I
to go
know
out there. We
I
know what
know if
happened
I
out
leave
there.
the house.
It's just
I
going
know
to be a
if I
matter of
leave the
getting
house.
fingerprints and evidence back, okay?
Out where? It happened at her house? We
No,
didn't
it didn't.
It started at her house.
Right.
And then it went somewhere else.
What started at her house?
The reason we're here.
Well, we got some issues, okay? And we're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting here talking to you, and then I'd certainly appreciate, and I know Tom appreciates that you're talking to us. But we got to get to the bottom of this, and we got to know what happened, the truth. And, there's two choices here. Either you're going to tell us.
Tina is continuing to show signs of high anxiety, evidenced by her face, neck, and chin rubbing. It's unfortunate that the officer is throwing out questions at such a rapid pace that Tina isn't getting a chance to answer most of them.
I didn't do anything to her.
Okay.
Promise to God.
And you were home all night.
I was at Heather's house.
Okay. You were at Heather's all night.
Okay.
Never left there.
Pause.
See, the story between Heather and Darren is already shaky. And your story is a third version of what they've told us so far. Okay? Now, there's pieces and parts that are the same, but they aren't exactly the same. Okay? It concerns me. It sounds a little too good, and then the parts that are breaking up, I don't understand why they're not saying the same thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to get to the bottom of this, and somebody's life may end over this. We're getting told that she's in pretty critical condition at this point and not likely to make it. So that's why we're here.
Do you understand what he's saying? Not likely to make it.
Yeah, she's about to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna stop it right there. Oh, we're gonna continue this tomorrow, part 2. Make sure y'all tune in. Thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, turn on post notifications. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, y'all. Because this right here, this is crazy. I'll see y'all later. Peace.